Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Box for a bit of a Springbok coaching update. A couple of people have messaged me asking what's happening with Tony Brown, happening sort of currently in New Zealand, where he's working with the Highlanders and what they kind of mean for the Box, what it means for the Highlanders, what it means for Tony Brown, and the likes of that. So just going to go a little bit briefly into what his trip over there is for, and I think that speaks to a larger changing and coaching culture all around the world, which I'm going to be very interested to see what impact it has on rugby moving forward. Before we do that, please do smash like on the video. Please do subscribe as well. We are just over 200 subscribers away from hitting that 1,000 mark on our dedicated Springbok channel. So make sure you go and subscribe to the channel right now. Right, so at the moment, Tony Brown is in New Zealand and he is currently with the Highlanders. Now, the article that Otago Daily Times is reporting says that he is not there in a coaching capacity and he's not going to be there for a while. He is just basically there in an observation capacity. Now, I'm sure an observation capacity does mean that, for example, he'll give a bit of input or he'll, speak to the coach and the likes of that, and he'll sort of give his opinion and the likes of that. But he is still obviously contracted to the Box, and he's expected to be back in South Africa probably within the next month. I think would be my guess. My guess is that he'll probably be due back in March, given the fact that we'll probably start to see alignment camps happen then, maybe even alignment camps in February, but usually that sort of second Six Nations window and the likes of that is often when we then see alignment camps, because then we don't have South African games happening at the time. So basically, I mean, he lives in Dunedin, so he's just gone back there and he is going to be doing basically this for observation, just for a couple. It says literally says that just for a couple of weeks in an informal observational capacity, and then he'll return back and take up his role as assistant coach. He was head coach of the Highlanders previously, and was also a assistant to Jamie Joseph when they won back in 2015. Now, Springbok fans are getting very excited about this because they're going to say, "Oh, he's over there, looking at what the Highlanders do, and he's going to, take some tactics and steal some tactics." And this is a masterclass from Rassie Erasmus, because we've got Tony Brown who's bringing the whole New Zealand vibe, and we've got Jay Flannery who's bringing the whole Irish vibe, and the two top teams in the world, getting the IP, etc., etc., which is true. But I think also it sort of shows you that I think that coaching and sharing of ideas is far greater than maybe what we actually think it is. All the conspiracies that Jacques was actually in Leinster to steal all the secrets about how Ireland play and to then come back to South Africa and guide us to a third World Cup. I think we sometimes dramatize some of these situations. The reality is, coaching is a very it's a very competitive environment, but it's also a very friendly environment in terms of coaches being quite willing to sort of share their ideas and bounce ideas with other people, because rugby's evolving all the time. And we're seeing that, for example, a lot in the first weekend of Six Nations. We saw a lot of teams, for example, looking at little chips in behind, cross kicks and the like of that, because the current modern trend defensively is your rush defenses. And how do you get behind the rush defense? The cross kick to try and get out wide quickly, kicks over the top where maybe there's a bit of space in. So there's always going to be this sort of continued ebb and flow of defense systems, will change and they'll be very effective for a time being, and then attack systems will then change to combat that, and then that'll create new opportunities to attack teams, and then we'll go back to the new defense systems and the likes of that. And I think coaches are quite willing to sort of share their ideas and kind of share their thoughts and the likes of that, because it's all about working out to find the balance. What works, what doesn't work, and what situations do they work. So for example, Alan Walters, might just be an S&C inverted commas, but he would have worked for the Box for a long time. He would have been able to, share the experience there. Similarly, for example, Andy Edwards would be able to share experiences with the Box about what it's like over there. I mean, he spoke about last year, for example. It wasn't so much the tactics and the game plan that Tony Brown was really sort of conveying to the Box. It was kind of just more about the culture. What is the All Black culture? And I think these days, analysis is going far deeper than just how do they play on the day. It's what makes them tick. How do they, when they get up, what are the moments that they look at to try and punish you and to create a feeling of uneasiness. Where do teams target you, emotionally and rather than just physically, and mentally, where do you can find sort of those edges. So it's become far more complicated than just a case of we're going to play like this, they're going to play like that, and hopefully whoever plays better wins. So I think it is a good thing that he's over there and having a look, because at the end of the day, if he has a single idea out of that, or he notices a single thing that he can bring back, then that's useful. And I think the best coaches in the world are very quick to observe other coaches, observe other teams, be willing to soak in the information. I think if you're going to be a successful coach, and this is my advice to any coach out there, be a sponge. Even players, actually, just be a sponge. Never ever say no to somebody's input or someone's suggestion or someone's talk, even if you don't use it, even if it's bad ideas or whatever. You can. There's no such thing as having too much information. You want to know as much as possible. You want to have as many ideas, because that will all sort of dictate how you then see the game, view the game, can see opportunities, can see weaknesses and the likes of that. So the good news, obviously, is that he's not going back over there permanently. He'll be back very shortly, and we hopefully will see an even bigger progression this year in our attacking shape than what we saw last year. Very excited to see what he's going to start doing with the likes of Sash Flaming Zulu and the likes. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. What can we learn maybe from a team like the Highlanders, like New Zealand? What can we still maybe try and implement within the Springboks system? Let me know down in the comments below, and we'll chat to you guys all soon.